Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. We had a little impromptu hiatus there for Steam Next Fest because that really crept right up on me. But hey, now we're back and we are working our way through the city area. And I have to say, this area has done a lot for my opinion of the game. It's so much less linear. It's so much more interesting and varied in terms of the tactical stuff. Also, we're actually, doing tactical stuff. We're actually fighting people all the time and whatnot. This has been lovely. So, we disabled the anti-aircraft gun, and I think we are ready to just move on to the next part of the city. We've killed an awful lot of people, just kind of for the crime of being around when we were feeling ornery. Now there was this area down here that we could have lowered ourselves down to. You know what? Let me come back over here because I am curious. If I just click around here, will they figure that out? Can they manage that pathing on their own? Yeah, cool. So we did have the ability to drop down. And I am curious about that now that we have now that we've dealt with the anti-aircraft gun. So this is just a scrappy auto gun. Yeah, go ahead and take that stuff. Go ahead and throw it in the cargo hold. It's interesting that there appear to be multiple real exits from this area. I wonder if these areas lead to different entry points on the same map, or if we are how much diversion ability there really is, Rebels, soldiers, and ordinary workers, everyone perished under the rubble of the ruined bridge and buildings. Yeah, it seems like a pretty major fall through.
Victory awaits.
So there's a door that can be popped open over there. You know what? Let's have a look down this alley first.
Over there.
Oh, well, the first thing we see is that we should not be going all the way over here.
Pay attention.
Yeah, she doesn't have the wherewithal to walk around it, I guess. Okay, hold on. Everybody back up. Give me you
I'm
personally.
restless.
We'll walk around the trap manually.
Cast your eye there.
Wow, okay, it is a fucking garden of nightmares
The
over
Emperor
here.
favors me today.
But you know how the Emperor feels about us. It's always favoring.
Duty prevails.
Okay. Squad, come stand over here.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
She has wild amounts of dialogue.
I better myself through my service.
An Imperium
Never
check.
doubt me.
These enormous humming transformers must be part of a single, much larger mechanism that supplies power to the whole hive. Who has all the time to set up all these traps, I wonder?
The Emperor favors me today.
Alright, yeah, I saw the level up. So, it would seem that we performed enough skill checks there to get powerful. Alright. This is available, so this is a skill upgrade and a characteristic upgrade. Well, our commerce and persuasion skills are both very high. I did want to push carouse a little bit, right? I wanted this to be a thing that our character can handle. Our persuasion and our commerce are these are the two most important things I think for expressing this character, and they are very high. So I think we're cool to spend some points on carouse. And then also, with a characteristic gain, I mean, it's very hard to not want to take fellowship, obviously. Ballistic skill's pretty important, although it's a little bit less important with our sort of just like our area weapon. Oh wait, can I not take a fellowship boost because I already have a fellowship boost? Because if that's the case, I will take ballistic skill as a secondary for sure. Okay. What do you get? You get a talent and a characteristic. The weapon skill has already been taken. Toughness is a fine lock-in, though, I think. And then for the talent, we've seen a lot. We've looked through a lot of these before. It has been a little while. Warrior gains +5 damage deflection against the first attack made by every enemy this combat. I mean, by each individual enemy. That's, I mean, it's not nothing. Gives them a real good first turn charge. When the warrior takes damage, they gain 11% dodge, stacking up to 3 times, resetting after a successful dodge. You know, I don't hate that, actually. It prevents the enemies from ganging up on him too effectively. When the warrior uses a single-shot attack or melee attack against a target, the warrior gets armor against targets attacks made by that target, flavored as damaging their hold on their weapon. I kind of do like defensive maneuvers. However, I'm also definitely thinking about like equipment capacities. Ooh, increases charge distance by 3 cells also is actually very compelling. And might be the pull. Charge and slash do not end the warrior's movement and grant dodge for 1 round after use. I mean, that's okay. When the warrior uses slash with 2 melee weapons equipped, the warrior deals damage from both weapons. I don't think he's currently dual wielding in his main loadout, but there's no reason for him not to be, right? Because obviously if we need him to shoot, we can just press the switch weapons button. Shearing strikes is definitely interesting and definitely compels me to use slash more. I do kind of like that. While under 40% wounds, Imperial wound characters gain a 10% bonus to all characteristics and +2 to resolve. Seems like a powerful enough bonus, but, you know, obviously you're hoping that it's never active. Yeah, I think I'm going to take shearing strikes. We're going to try to dig in on slash a little bit. Take that and toughness. You are going to get a skill up here. So like, what do we badly need? One thing that that I really do appreciate the game doing is showing you everybody else's the whole party's values in the skills to make comparisons easy. And like, if we know that that she is our highest logic character, then +10 logic on her represents a logic increase for the whole party that's actually very valuable. And I do think that I'm probably going to take that for that reason. She's also one of the leading Medicaes, but let's take logic. And just general perception. Alright, as a soldier, you are also getting an actual talent here. Enemies damaged by the soldier's area attacks suffer damage from the next attack. Soldier's medium armor does not reduce dodge. It's not like she's not really getting shot at all that often. She has such an easy time staying back. What is going to be compelling? I mean, integrity. Integrity is kind of compelling as a character who is staying way back. Yeah, I wonder if that's the move. Soldier's second attack action deals 15% more damage to enemies that have not been injured. Demolition instead of intelligence is used to determine additional damage dealt with area attacks. Yeah. I do think that I want to take integrity. And then we've already got a ballistic skill up. So I'm not allowed to choose that. General agility is good though, is strong. Okay, you are not the logic leader. You know what? We'll take tech use. I'm sure this guy is the tech use leader of the party. And then obviously you're getting a lot of value out of your intelligence. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And Kibella. Okay, Kibella gets a talent. Agility bonus % additional damage. Enemies attacked by the Blade Dancer have their skills reduced, relatively important skills, reduced by 10 plus your weapon skill bonus. How big is that? No, I know what it means. I'm trying to say with this character. I mean, the 10 is the part that's really relevant, right? Why is this? Why is the definition of Blade Dancer over top of my everything now? That's weird. In any case, Blinding Blades seems like it's actually quite good. Maybe we want to just pull that. Each attack made increases the damage of all subsequent attacks by 5%. The Blade Dancer's parry is increased by toughness bonus, and an attacker's melee critical hit chance is determined by the difference between the attackers and the... Okay. Everything already, I think, is pretty much 1 AP, so that doesn't really do too much for us. Gosh, there sure are a lot of things, right? For everybody all of the time. I do really like Blinding Blades, though. That's a considerable amount of penalty that can be applied to a lot of enemies very easily. So let's get you some strength. You hit a lot of times per turn. What if you hit a lot of times per turn for even more damage? Alright, do I think we're out of trap area? No, I do not. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that looks like it could be rigged to blow. Oh. Why did this open? Sector Coronis expands region Reichhead system location streets in the vicinity of the Reichhead Menorah starport. Material report based on oral accounts and picked recordings added to the archives of House von Valancius by the order of Seneschal Versarian. On her journey across a world caught in the throes of a heretical insurgency, the Lord Captain accidentally witnessed an unholy rite that transpired in one of the maintenance rooms of an aqueduct. This abandoned nook turned out to be a heretics' gathering place for performing their grim and profane acts. The large group of rebels stood frozen in patient anticipation, all staring into the center of the room. No one moved. Only the murmur of hushed voices echoed against the metal walls. The Lord Captain ran a cursory glance over the room, assessing the situation. Okay. Yeah, that's me. I did that. The rebels were unremarkable in appearance. They were dressed in the shabby clothes of abject rabble, spoke in coarse voices, and had repulsive faces. But what caught the Lord Captain's attention was the look of strange, almost sinister anticipation in their eyes. This was no gathering of loud blasphemers or bored idlers. Only occasionally would they exchange brief, unintelligible remarks. As they stood in a frozen circle, their gazes turned toward the hulking structure in the center of the room. Bulky power transformers, cogitators, crates, and voxcasters took up most of the space. Against their background, the structure in the center stood out oddly, an enormous lens mounted on a stand. It caught the thin sunbeams that made their way through slits in the ceiling and crossed the half-lit room. This is such a weird way to present a thing that's going on, and I'm not necessarily opposed, I guess. There's definitely part of me that thinks, hey, you have a whole, graphics engine with movable characters in it and stuff. Represent this that way. Presumably there's some reason that they didn't. But even if they want to do this thing, I'm not necessarily fully opposed to flipping to this mode of explanation for some of the weirder shit we're going to encounter. I do wish that the transition from we're moving guys around on a map to now it's time to read a book was a little bit less abrupt. Instead of there just suddenly being an open book on the screen, maybe have the book come into view as though it's being placed over top of what's going on, and then there's an animation for it opening, or just introduce us to the fact that this is what we're doing now, right? So we have two options here. I can peer around the room using my high awareness skill to roll 100 to guarantee an awareness success, or we can survey the peculiar structure with great attention, which we're guaranteed to hit as well. I think the structure does grab our rogue trader's attention. The enormous mounted lens was doubtlessly imbued with the power of the archenemy, inimical to all that is noble and virtuous in the universe. Anyone caught in the corrupted light it emits will face horrifying consequences. And the Lord Captain peered into the darkness enveloping the room. Although barely visible behind the closed ranks of the insurgents, the rusted barrels with evidently flammable contents had not escaped the Lord Captain's keen eye. One good shot at those barrels would decimate the number of heretics on Rykad Minoris. The enormous mounted lens was doubtlessly imbued... Okay, that's just... still got the text there. The Lord Captain patiently observed what happened next. As if commanded by a grim, unseen force, the insurgents fell silent at once and, in a single movement, parted. A thick, sticky silence filled the room. The heretics' gazes were turned toward a metal structure with a lens on top of it, standing tall in the middle of a circle of melting candles, piles of books, and unholy symbols drawn on the floor. The structure flashed as a single sunray illuminated it. A sound of bare feet broke the sinister silence as a man emerged from the deep shadows. Reeling, he entered the circle and collapsed on his knees in front of the enormous lens. Not a second had passed before many rebel hands gripped the fallen man's shoulders and hair. Remember, comrade, the last sunray you behold will be yours only, shared with no one else. Your holy final dawn, bellowed a lone heretic's voice amid the silent crowd. By the doing of someone's hands, the lens had turned, and its focused ray feasted on the prisoner's eyes. The blinded man's harrowing scream shook the very walls of the place. Consumed by the rite, the rebels had not yet noticed the stranger in their midst. The Lord Captain braced herself and... I feel like those barrels, right? I feel like those barrels have got to go. We don't know exactly what the deal is with this whole ritual situation, but why would you not start with the biggest explosion you can?
The Master's demand your
Alright,
death.
my comrades' deaths will not stop the rise of the new sun. It is weird, though, that, like, it caused... That opening caused our leader to run way out, and everybody else just stayed as far back as they could. Everybody else stayed back. Like, when we moved up... When we moved up, the rest of the party should have come with us. Alright, Abelard, just be as far forward as possible. Abelard and Cabela get to go pretty early, so I think, comfortable just standing them up in the open. Apparently Pascal can make it all the way up here. That's crazy. Oh, except that space is currently suffering damage, I guess. Alright, so Argenta gets to lead. There's a bunch of enemies up there. I didn't actually see these ones over here. That's interesting. Obviously, there's a pile of explosive barrels there that hopefully somebody can take care of. Who's going? Okay, you and you. So these two are the people who are going in the middle of our party. So in theory, if I'm trying to reduce incoming damage, that's where we want to start. I mean, let's blow this up. If I were to... It doesn't have an HP listing. So I'm wondering, if I were to do a sort of a cone fire here, could I blow this up while also stacking some damage like on the explosives over there? And it looks like the answer is yes, so let's go for that. I'm sorry, did I just hard miss the barrel? I totally did.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Well, we're going to run and gun. We're going to switch back to the laser gun. We are going to hit this barrel for sure.
I'll do it.
Seems to have just... Okay, it did explode and deal damage to the cultist, but again, the camera loves to pull us back to the site of a shot, the site that a shot's coming from, instead of focusing us on the place where the shot's going, which is obviously the correct thing to do.
Out of my way! See my great works, masters!
He hit Pascal through heavy cover, through large cover, for 5 damage. What an asshole. So Cabela... Interesting. We can turn off the steam over here. I don't know if we need to. Let's see here. Cabela can jump. She's not going to be quite able to reach the fire-starting cultist. But I don't know if it makes sense to try to, like, run her over here and shoot at the cover. I think I'm just going to go after this one.
Death is a blessing.
Jesus. Alright, leap in and simply devour that man. And then, I mean, somebody's got to put some pressure on these cultists here, but also you should probably get to some kind of safety. Oh, right, except you don't get death from above charges when you kill people with death from above. Shoot. I did forget. You know what? Cabela's tough. She can handle being in the open. At the very least, it'll get the enemies to divide their attention a little bit, I think. And she's not directly adjacent to any of the explosives, which is good. So we're going to see a lot of enemies get their turns here. Okay, this guy down here is about to get a turn. You're way in the back corner. You're also way in the back corner. So the real question is, whether we can do anything about this guy. And it seems like the answer is probably no. We might be able to start an explosion. Yeah, none of this stuff is like direct damage, huh? We can move to a position where I can see this and try to destroy it. The thing is, I'm not sure. I mean, I should have a shot from here, right?
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
Let's see if I'm being too aggressive. That is not lethal. But I mean, we're probably going to have to break it. If we're going to have to break it down over 2 attacks, I may as well make the first attack happen, right?
Request approved.
Did you just miss? Hits cover instead of cover. Buddy. I'm going to need you to dial it in here. Alright, let's do a machine spirit communication. Since I have all this AP. Recoil is reduced by half. Enemy dodge is reduced by 10%. I think it's going to make more sense to buff up friends than it is to debuff the enemies.
The old Messiah knows.
Yeah, because I can get 3 of them, and hopefully that'll be sensible. This effect lasts until the operative moves, so I guess we may as well go ahead and stack up our perfect Spock bonus right now, so we don't have to spend an AP on it next turn. Okay, I bet that probably ends my perfect spot bonus.
Death to non-believers.
Not that I'm upset about it. Fired 4 shots, 4 misses. You guys are so bad at your jobs. So from here, shift to... Yeah, target's just a little bit too far. And now that you've moved, I can't come around here and get you either. I guess I can shut off the... I can run over and shut off the steam, which is not very exciting. Not enough movement points. It's not clear to me where this is even done. Okay, maybe we don't worry about it. We also obviously don't want to be taking cover behind the big red barrel. I mean, I could just rush through the steam, but if I do this, I can dash to you. If I run to here, I can dash to you. Nope, no line of sight. Actually, it's still really sketchy trying to get this dash off. Well, alright, let's do it this way. I'm gonna hit endure.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
And then... Wait, charge. There we go.
I took care of this one.
I forgot to change his gear out for the slash effect.
My place is at the fort.
Let's get you adjacent to this guy so that he doesn't feel like he can safely do things. And then it looks to me like Idira can probably do some good coming up this way. I could just shoot at him with my gun. He's way too far out for a psychic attack, right? Yeah. Do I want to... do anything fancy here. Well, I should definitely like forewarn somebody.
On it.
I don't have any idea where I'm moving Samhain on her turn. This opens up the possibilities a little bit, I think. Huh, I thought I had...
What?
Well, I'll take this.
Was that you?
I thought I had a shot on that front guy earlier in the turn. Allies within this area gain 6% dodge. Can I afford to cast foreboding? Or, like, can I cast foreboding over here? Do I need line of sight? It looks like I do need line of sight to the target tile. And sadly, I can't quite see any tile that would help both of them. So I'm just going to give it to Cabela.
Anything else?
Well, I mean, it affects anybody who's in the zone, right? In case I move people. Not quite sure who to prioritize at this point. I guess the leader of the cultists makes a certain kind of sense. Run up to here and... Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Let's just start a little fire. Doesn't seem to have been very good damage. And I do obviously want to pass off some actions to other people. I think giving Cabela movement... Yeah, 5 MP is not going to let her get close enough to start messing people up. Sadly, there's just not a lot of other stuff to do with these points right now.
Already done.
You can at least get up into cover.
Footprints of scarlet.
And then I don't know that I have a good bring it down this time. I can't reach Lady what's her name.
All too easy.
Alright, let's see if you can hit something. Use our most well-aimed shot.
Request denied. Cogitation failed.
Yeah, it's not really like drawing the lines of sight in the way that I wish that it would. We can throw out a machine spirit banishment, or what am I gonna do if you can't shoot anybody? I mean, he should have vision to this guy at the very least.
My competences are not that universal.
But yeah, it looks like I just don't. I am considered not to have a shot, not to have an open angle on everybody, which really sucks. Yep, cursing people doesn't even reach this far. You're just kind of without useful stuff to do. I guess let's just throw analyze enemies up on their leader. Do I have enough line of sight for that? I don't.
Dogmatic protocols.
And I can't even, like, machine spirit vanish. Nobody's close enough. I guess guess I'm just gonna end the turn. I guess that's just a turn that didn't happen.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Okay, love to see another person taking cover behind the explosives.
Chaos guides me.
Abelard is not the most concerned. Oh. Okay, little bit of drama had to occur, I guess. Not sure what these anointed cultists are doing. Let's see if we can stop them.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay. I was able to stop one of them at least. Don't really have a lot fancier plays to do there, unfortunately. All right, a little bit of friendly fire.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
People are trying so hard to harm Abelard, and they just can't. Oh, look at you summoning blue horrors. Okay, well the great news is Kibella has some stuff to do this turn. Alright, so let's run up and let's make sure we're firing our stuff. Gotta make sure I maintain the AP for all of our stuff. Okay, so we want to do Raining Blood. We also probably want Captive Audience. Inflicts bleeding 10. These blue horrors are tough. The thing is, I want to be able to Blade Dance and also do a normal attack. So I guess I'm going to Blade Dance first.
Caught by the web.
Alright, then I guess we got a regular attack.
The shadows.
That'll spray the blood. And I guess your turn is over for the moment. I hope I did not just consign you to doom. Pascal might just be running around and cutting this guy in half.
Envy is the tread of his faithful.
Alright.
Your desire condemns you.
And now I can't do Machine Spirit Commune for another couple of turns. I can just turn somebody's weapons off. Perfect spot doesn't really do anything for me right this second, although I guess I'm going to end up doing it here just because there's no reason not to. I'm going to have the AP. Reduces damage dealt by the target's attacks by 15%. Who do we care most about? It's probably one of these ones back here. These guys have guns.
Cogitation failed.
Oh, it's like right. They have carefully placed themselves just outside the activatable area. Okay, well, I guess it's that guy whose machine spirit is getting banished. And then you're getting extra exploits for when I try to clean you up next turn.
I bring ruin.
Death to non-believers.
Alright, a lot of really dodgy shooting going on from our opponents. Not their best work. Well, honestly, it might be their best work, but it's bad work is the most important part.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Run forward. Turns out to be a heck of a move. Okay, warrior dashes through an enemy to a cell on the enemy's opposite side. Can only be applied once for one target per round. So slash, yeah, slash only works on things that are just like right adjacent to you, though. I'm gonna go ahead and endure.
Victory is
Okay, pretty dramatic. Not quite enough to get me to any kind of cover, but I'm gonna move this way
tactically
with the
sound
intention
approach.
of grabbing that guy's attention.
at your beck and call.
A little bit of additional deflection. We're getting real tough here, and hopefully it's still safe to blow that up. Alright, parries and stuff going on. I don't think I'm quite going to have a shot on the cover there. Try not to expose myself too much. Can I shoot at this? Yeah, I'm not going to hit that guy.
Of course.
3 energy damage to the cover. Incredible. And then... forewarning. Doesn't quite reach Kibella.
Anything else?
You can have it.
On it.
Okay, we can at least cast our forewarning. Oh man. Well, it turns out the Earth protests. I knocked Samhain over by doing that.
I serve the ruinous powers! Death to the weak!
I will die in
Whoa.
dishonor.
Okay, hold on a second. So that guy exploded himself real good. 18 impact damage to Kibella. She'll still be up. But that's like half of her HP. Can't believe they're running like literal demons out here at us. The steam is a little inconvenient. If I stop short of the steam, what is my... Yeah, I have a shot on the horror at least. I mean, I do want to try to blow up this thing.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Okay, 27 damage to the blue horror from that. And then we run and gun. And we try to just drill one home on the horror itself. Fingers crossed for... There we go. Critical hit. Seems like a fine time to revel in slaughter, frankly. When is Kibella's next? Okay, she's pretty soon. Oh, interestingly, the leader of cultists just didn't do anything. Alright, let's go. Captive audience into Blade Dance.
Let your soul be purged.
Alright.
Trust me.
Okay, so the blue horror is down. Didn't explode in any like particularly terrifying way or anything when he went down. And now I am just gonna
My blade whispers your
hop over the
name.
cultist leader real quick, because why not? Alright, and he should be bleeding now, so we should be... Hopefully, we should be seeing some fairly serious effects from that soon. Do you have... You do, in fact, have a pretty nice clean shot on this guy. Let's just take the simple shot here. Ooh, 26. Is that leaving him at 1 HP? It sure is. That's on me. I didn't analyze first. I absolutely should have. Well, I'm going to analyze, and then I'm going to expose weakness. Just trying to make it a little bit easier for everybody else to get their thing done. And then we still have Machine Spirit Banishment available. You're 1 tile out of range. I can make your weapon bad, provided that you're going to attack. It doesn't seem like the sort of thing he's into, frankly. I'm really bummed out that we left that guy at 1. Is he gonna blow himself up? No. Scares Cabela out of her slot, but it's not too bad. She did move next to... yeah, I don't like that. It looks like she moved next to some cover when she was attacked there, so that sucks.
Follow my lead.
Step around here.
Indeed.
So the idea with Slash is that you can do it once on each target you can reach with it, right? It's like slash through this guy, then, you know, stab him in the back of the head or whatever. And then... No, I am not able to then do it to this guy as well. Like the way it's depicted here, like you're bouncing through multiple targets, can only be applied for only once for 1 target per round. I guess I was misreading that. It was like once per 1 target is how I was reading it, but that is not what it says. Well, never mind. I think I've got people's attentions here, hopefully, and I do think it was better getting to move through the target so I'm adjacent to everybody is definitely better than not.
Cover me.
All right, Adira, maybe you need to take it easy on the warp stuff. But we can just shoot this guy and get...
Anything is.
You get the... Well, never mind, I missed. I was going to say get the benefit of all those charges. Am I... Okay, I'm just barely close enough to place Forewarning on Cabela, which we absolutely need to do. Alright. I do wish Cabela was still adjacent to these guys. So if we go Inferno Blast here...
Since my path, nothing of value has been lost.
Alright, now... This only reaches 7 cells. I guess the thing to do is just give... Well, I probably could have hit Pascal, but whatever. It's basically just like somebody shoot that nerd. And then I think I am basically done. I didn't distribute maximum buffs there, but it's fine.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
We are leaving a lot of enemies alive at 1 HP. It's actually very disappointing. I really, really, really don't like using any of this stuff as cover. Okay, I think this is a nice clean open shot.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Okay. Cabela had to, so I over-penetrated with the shot. Cabela had to dodge it, and then it did hit those explosive barrels over there. So, a little terrifying. We got the 2 that Abelard's on. We also got this one other guy hiding in the corner here. If I run and gun, I can, in fact, find myself another shot. I cannot guarantee that Abelard's not in danger. Yeah, you know what? Let's try something like this instead. Instead of
Faith without none can escape
go.
the Emperor's judgment.
instead of shooting down that line where we might hit Abelard, let's just clean up the enemy he almost killed.
I'll do it.
And then we revel in slaughter a little bit more, because it's fun to do. Alright, Cabela's primary target was evaporated. That's fine, that just means I can come over here and play with you.
Let your soul be purged.
Alright, chopping guys up into little pieces. It's a specialty of our squad here. I don't think Pascal really needs to do anything this turn.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
I suppose it would be better to not be in the open if I don't have to be.
Such is the will of chaos.
But like, this guy's way under control, right?
Pain and beauty go hand in hand.
High momentum.
Abelard is just like actually unkillable.
My place is at the fore, at your beck and call. I'd rather not.
Hey, guess what? Fuck
It
you.
will be done. Reduced to dust.
Wow, his head really traveled. And hey, look at that. Aren't we glad we came down here? We disrupted some kind of horrible ritual. Your eye is drawn to the peculiar device. At first you are vexed by worries of some pernicious influence, but the real reason soon becomes apparent. The glass installed in the device shimmers in a unique way, just the same way as the shards of unknown broken object that you found near Theodora von Valancius's desk. Yes, that's why. What's the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... Abelard trails off when he notices what you're looking at. He instantly makes the connection. By the Imperium's saints, it cannot be! Idira bites her lip. I see it too. Whatever that thing in her study was, it was made from the same material as this junk. What? What? What are you so mad about, dude? Abelard is at a loss for words. He takes a moment to collect himself, and all at once they start pouring out in a hasty sputter. It's a mistake. Slander meant to blemish the good name of a person who is now dead and cannot even defend herself. First those minions of the archenemy murdered Lord Captain Theodora, and now... Oh, this cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like. Idira's smile betrays her grief, but at the same time is strangely knowing. Brazen, assertive, it was like her entire life was a race against... Man, is this music just getting louder? Hold on a second. I'm gonna tone the music down just a little bit. Maybe do some of that. Okay. It was like her entire life was a race against fate until fate caught up with her in the end. She would have gone headfirst into a black hole if she had thought it would put her even one step ahead of everyone else out in the expanse. If we could just find out what she was keeping in her desk and why she went to get it during the attack. Sister Argenta's beautiful face is full of grief. How bitter it is to know that you were born from bad blood, but do not let this knowledge drag you into darkness. The sister's words ring with a genuine, sincere hope that you be blessed with a worthier fate. She does not appear to be shocked by the news of Theodora's possible heresy. Yeah, she seems remarkably comfortable with that sort of stuff, all things considered, which is a great relief to me. Life must be so easy for you sanctimonious preachers. A dubious trinket and you no longer see a person, you see bad blood, an annoying hindrance. There's enough venom in Idira's voice to poison an entire regiment. Argenta recoils, but the next moment her dark eyes ignite with fury. How dare you admonish me? We are speaking of abetting the archenemy. A person who has tainted themselves thus can never justify their actions. Sure, why go through all the trouble of trying to make sense of anything when you could just label them a heretic and call it a day? Except, dear friend, I seem to remember that you didn't mind Theodora so much while you were aboard the ship. You didn't leave her side for even a moment. She rescued you, aided you, and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. And you weren't surprised or upset. You just gave up on her and moved on. I think she just kind of already knew is all. So we can just outright sign with Argenta or Adira. It's too soon to cast accusations of heresy. I do think it is kind of soon. Like, we have no idea. We know nothing about what we're looking at here. Adira's right. It is too soon to cast accusations of heresy. Samhain, don't be naive. Theodora kept an unsanctioned witch by her side like a pet. Do you really believe she would think twice about crossing the line in other ways? And then we are given no option but to walk away from the device. Seems like an odd thing to do at this moment, because are we not? Are we done? We're just done looking at it?
The whispers taught me how.
The ritual site is covered in ominous heretical symbols, each of which is unmistakably emanating the malevolent power of the warp. The heretics use the aberrant powers of this lens to ruin the eyes of the most devout followers of their cult.
I won't tolerate weakness.
And we can't interact with it any further, unfortunately. Alright, let's look at this stuff. What do we got? We got another hand flamer. A psychic staff that, like, compared to your staff, is literally identical. Okay. Some basic chainmail. Heavy leather armor. How does this compare to your armor? It's a little bit worse. Some Warmonger boots. Whenever the wearer kills 2 or more enemies with a single attack, the attack does not spend all the wearer's MP. That's pretty cool and potentially maybe good for Kibella. And then here, a message from the cache on Rykad Minoris. A harbinger reports, Brother Twilight and his people were unsuccessful. A dangerous enemy, Samhain von Valancius, foiled his plans. The duty is now upon us, Aurora's followers, to succeed where Twilight failed. Well, now isn't that interesting?
A new challenge for me?
Let's step everybody over here. We can have you
Join me in prayer.
go and turn off this.
Duty prevails.
Alright, what have we here? The cogitator screen reads, access code required. Well, let's just breach the cogitator's defenses with our incredible tech use. The machine spirits look favorably upon you. You overcome the cogitator's defenses. The message archive loads up. Judging by the accompanying notes, the messages were meticulously transferred from paper to the sacred machine storage. What do they got in missives here? New missive, heed the words of a harbinger of Aurora. Let it be known to you that the prophesied hour is nigh, and the faithful must triple their efforts. Those who stand in the way of our salvation must be swept away. Let it be revealed to you that the enemy is about to receive reinforcements. Remember the name, Samhain von Valancius. Her ship has already entered the system. We should expect this enemy to appear near our positions. Whoever rids our comrades of this threat will be granted Aurora's special blessing, a chance to stand at the prophet's side when the hour comes. Be vigilant, and let the final dawn come. New missive. Aurora's harbingers wish you to know, comrades, that the von Valancius ship is heading for the navigator station. You've got time to prepare a warm welcome for the enemy. Yeah, we were late to show up. Alright, what about dispatches? Tell the harbingers we've intercepted a convoy of the governor's underlings who were supposed to meet that von Valancius lass. Only one out of the whole convoy got away, but he's not long for this world. No one's making it to the governor's hole. Not that youngster or the ones he's supposed to meet. Our comrades have got their hands on a guard's voxcaster, and these fools have no clue we can hear all their comms. We know their every movement, and we're going to throw them a fine welcome party. Aurora must have no doubts that we'll do whatever it takes to stop her enemies. Let the final dawn come. What a strange bunch of guys.
I better myself through my service.
The markings on this voxcaster clearly indicate that it belongs to the planetary wardens. There are visible scratches and traces of blood on the device. Alright, any other traps over here? Let's see if we can get this open.
I failed.
We do have a 100% with somebody else.
Operation
There we go.
successful.
3 vials of onslaught. Instantly increases movement points by 6 and grants 2 charges of slash, but reduces weapon skill, ballistic skill, and perception by 15. Hard to imagine when you would want to use that. I guess, like, if you're in a position where you're facing a really large number of enemies who are, like, a lot weaker than you, so your attacks are likely to hit even with the penalties. This grants bonus armor against warp damage. That all seems fine.
It's about time.
We probably shouldn't just be hanging out around the thing here if we are concerned that it is tainted with warp energy. Alright, so there's a couple of doors out of here. Did we manage to get everything off the ground yet? Alright, I think we probably want to stop taking these. We have found an awful lot of them. Okay. Nothing exciting over there. Outlier doesn't have anything. Yeah,
Follow
all right.
my lead.
I think this is where I'm going to call it for today. We discovered something pretty rank going on. We put a stop to it, and I think that it's going to have some, some kind of major connection to the plot later on. So really, just a huge amount of winning here, and we almost didn't get shot in the face at all for it. When you come back next time, probably we're focused on actually, like, moving forward and reaching the governor at some point. And we'll see you then.